Strong his arm and keen his scent is. He's a pirate now indeed. Here's good luck to Frederick's ventures. Frederick's out of his indentures. 1 and 20 now he's rising, and alone he's fit to fly, which were bent on signalizing with unusual revelry. Here's good luck to Frederick's ventures. Frederick's out of his indentures. Oh, pour the pirate ship, fill the pirate glass, and to make us more than merry, let the pirate blood prepare.
Yes, Frederick, from today, you rank as a full-blown member of our band!
I thank you from my heart for your kindly wishes. Would that I could repay them as they deserve.
What do you mean?
Today I am out of my indentures, and today I leave you forever.
Well, this is quite unaccountable. A keener hand at scuttling a cunard or cutting out a piano never shipped a handspike.
Yes, I did my best for you. And why? It was my duty under my indentures. And I am the slave of duty. As a child, I was regularly apprenticed to your pirate band. It was through an error. No matter, the mistake was ours, not yours, and I was in honor bound by it.
An error? What error?
I may not tell you, or it would reflect upon my well-loved Ruth.
Nay, dear master, my mind has long been gnawed by the cankering tooth of mystery. Better have it out at once.
Gather up. Story time.
When Frederick was a little lad, he proved so brave and daring. His father thought he'd apprentice him to some career seafaring. I was, alas, his nursery maid, and so it fell to my lot to take and bind the promising boy apprentice to a pilot. A life not bad for a hearty lad, though surely not a high lot. Though I'm a nurse, you might do worse than make your boy a pilot. I was a stupid nursery maid on breakers, always steering, and I did not catch the word aright through being hard of hearing, mistaking my instructions, which within my brain did gyrate. I took and bound the promising boy apprentice to a pirate. That mistake it was to make and doom him to this vile lot. I bound him to a pirate, you, instead of to a pilot. So pardon, Frederick, pardon!
Right, sweet one, I have long pardoned you.
The two words were so much alike.
They were. They still are, though years have rolled over their heads. But this afternoon, my obligation ceases. Individually, I love you all with affection unspeakable. But collectively, I look upon you with a disgust that amounts to absolute detestation. Pity me, my beloved friends, for such is my sense of duty, that once out of my indentures, I should feel myself bound to devote myself heart and soul to your extermination.
Poor lad! Poor lad!
Well, Frederick, if you conscientiously feel it is your duty to destroy us, we cannot blame you for acting on that conviction. Always act in accordance with the dictates of your conscience, my boy, and chance the consequences!
Besides, we can offer you but little temptation to remain with us. We don't seem to make piracy pay. I'm sure I don't know why, but we don't.
Oh, I know why, but alas, I mustn't tell you. It wouldn't be right.
Why not, my boy? It's only 11:57. No. 8! And you are one of us until the clock strikes 12.
True. And until then, you are bound to protect our interests.
Then it is my duty as a pirate to tell you that you are too tender-hearted. For instance, you make a point of never attacking a weaker party than yourselves, and when you attack a stronger party, you invariably get thrashed.
Hey!
There is some truth in that.
Then, again, you make a point of never attacking an orphan.
Of course. We are orphans ourselves. And we know what it is.
Yes, but it has got about. And what is the consequence? Everyone we capture says he's an orphan. The last 3 ships we took proved to be manned entirely by orphans. And so we had to let them go. One would think Great Britain's mercantile navy was recruited solely from her orphan asylums, which we know is not the case.
Ow, but hang it all. You wouldn't leave us absolutely merciless.
There's my difficulty. Until 12, I would. After 12, I wouldn't. Oh, was ever a man placed in so delicate a situation?
And Ruth, your own Ruth, whom you love so well, who's won her middle-aged way into your boyish heart. What is to become of her?
Oh! He will take you with him.
Well, Ruth, I feel some difficulty about you. It is true I admire you very much, but I have been constantly at sea since I was 8 years old, and yours is the only woman's face I have seen during that time. I think it is a sweet face.
Oh, it is.
I say I think it is. That is my impression, but as I have never had the chance of comparing you with other women, it is just possible I may be mistaken.
True.
What a terrible thing it would be if I were to marry this innocent person, and then to find out that she is, on the whole, plain.
Plain? No. Ruth is... well...
Yes, very well indeed. Yes, there are the remains of a fine woman about Ruth.
You really think so?
I do.
Well, then I will not be so selfish as to take her from you. In justice to her, and in consideration for you, I will leave her behind.
No!
No, this must not be.
No!
We are rough men
Rah!
who lead a rough life. But we are not so utterly heartless as to deprive thee of thy love. I think I'm right in saying that there is not one here who would rob thee of this inestimable treasure that for all the world holds dear.
Not one!
No, I thought there wasn't. Keep thy love, Frederick. Keep thy love. Farewell, Frederick. And when your process of extermination begins, let our deaths be as swift and painless as you can conveniently make them.
I will, by the love I have for you, I swear it! Would that you could render this extermination unnecessary by accompanying me back to civilization?
Oh, Frederick, it cannot be. I don't think much of our profession, but contrasted with respectability, it is comparatively honest.
It's true.
Oh, Frederick. Don't swim. Take the dinghy! Frederick, I shall live and die a pirate king!
He's a pirate king! He's a pirate
Oh, better far to live and die under the brave black flag I fly than play a sanctimonious part with a pirate head and a pirate heart. Wage the cheating world go you, where pirates all are well true, but I'll be true to the song I sing and live and die a pirate king. For I am a pirate pirate's king. It is a glorious thing to be a pirate's king. For I am a pirate's king.
For a pirate's king.
It is a glorious thing to be a pirate's king.
It is for a pirate's king.
Hurrah for the pirate's king. When I sally forth to seek my prey, I help myself in a royal way. I sink a few more ships, ensure that a well-bred mohawk not to lose. But many a king on a first-class boat, if he wants to call his crown his own, must manage somehow to get through more dirty work than ever I do.
It is a room for the pirate king.
A run for the pirate. What's it? Tide, everyone! You must bell away! Man the foresails!
And the real.
Fare thee well, Ruth.
Oh, take me with you. I cannot live if I'm left behind.
Ruth, I'll be perfectly candid with you. You are very dear to me, as you know, but I must be circumspect. You are considerably older than I, and a lad of 21 usually looks for a wife of 18.
A wife of 18. You will find me a wife of 1,000.
No, but I shall find you a wife of 47, and that is quite enough. Ruth? Ruth! Tell me candidly and without reserve, compared with other women, how are you?
I will answer you truthfully, master. I've a slight cold, but otherwise I'm quite well.
I'm sorry for your cold, but I was referring rather to your personal appearance. Compared with other women, are you beautiful?
I have been told so, dear master.
Ah, but lately?
Oh, no, years and years ago.
What do you think of yourself?
'Tis a delicate question to answer, but I think I'm a fine woman.
That is your candid opinion?
Yes? I should be deceiving you if I told you otherwise.
Do I believe you, Ruth? For I'm sure you would not practice upon my inexperience. I wish to do the right thing, and if I say if you really are a fine woman, your age shall be no obstacle to our union. Hark, surely I hear voices. Who has dared to venture to our all but inaccessible lair? Can it be Custom House? No, it does not sound like Custom House.
Confusion! It is the voices of young girls. If he should hear them, I am lost.
By all that's marvelous, a bevy of beautiful maidens.
Lost, lost, lost!
How lovely, how surpassingly lovely is the plainest of them. What grace, what delicacy, what refinement. And Ruth told me she was beautiful. Oh, false one, you have deceived me.
I have deceived you.
Yes, deceived me. You told me you were fair as gold.
And master, am I not so?
And now I see your plain vain and old.
I'm sure I'm not a jerk, so
Upon my innocence you play.
I'm not the one to pluck, so
Your face is lined, your hair is gray.
it gradually got so.
Faithless woman to deceive me, I who trusted so.
Master, master, do not leave me. Hear me ere you go.
Faithless woman,
Master, master,
faithless woman,
master, master,
faithless woman to deceive me, I who trusted so. Faithless woman to deceive me, I who trusted so.
My love without reflecting, oh, do not be rejecting. Take a maiden tender, her affection raw and green. At very highest rating has been accumulating. Summer 17. Summer 17. Don't be loving, master. Crush me with disaster. What is such a dower to the dower I have been? Don't be loving, master. Crush me with disaster. What is such a dower to the dower I have been? My love unabating has been accumulating 47 years.
47 years. Faithless woman to deceive me, I who trusted so. Faithless woman to deceive me, I who trusted so. What shall I do? I dare not appear before these gentle maidens in this alarming costume. No, I must remain in close concealment till I can appear in decent clothing.
Hiding on the rocky mountains.
It is to be so entirely alone. Why, in all probability, we are the first human beings who ever set foot in this enchanting spot.
Oh, except for the mermaids. This is the very place for mermaids.
Who are only human beings down to the waist.
And who cannot be strictly said to set foot anywhere. Tails they may, but feet they cannot.
But what shall we do until Papa arrives?
Well, we are quite alone, and the sea is as smooth as glass. What if we take off our shoes and our stockings and paddle?
Stop, ladies, pray.
A mermaid?
I had not intended to intrude myself upon your notice in this effective but alarming costume. But under these peculiar circumstances, it is my bounden duty to inform you that your proceedings here will not be unwitnessed.
But who are you? Sir, speak.
I am a pirate.
A pirate!
Ladies, do not shun me. This evening I renounce my vile profession. And to that end, O pure and peerless maidens, who blushing buds of ever-blooming beauty, I soar at heart, implore your kind assistance.
How pitiful his tale.
How rare his beauty.
How pitiful his tale. How rare his beauty.
Oh, is there not one maiden breast which does not feel the moral beauty of making worldly interest subordinate to sense of duty? Who would not give up willingly all matrimonial ambition to rescue such a one as I from his unfortunate position, to rescue such a one as I from his unfortunate position. Oh, is there not one maiden here whose homely face and bad complexion
Did you just call us ugly?
caused all hope to disappear of ever-winning man's affection? To such a one, if such there be, I swear by heaven's arch above you, if you will cast your eyes on me, however plain you be, I love you. However plain you be, if you will cast your eyes on me, one.
No, no. This one. Tis the bell. Yes, tis bell. Oh, sisters, deaf to pity's name, for shame. It's true that he has gone astray, but pray, is that a reason good and true? Why you should all be deaf to pity's name? The question is, had he not been a thing of beauty, would she be swayed by quite as keen a sense of duty? For shame, for shame, for shame. Oh, poor wandering one, though thou hast surely strayed, take heart of grace, thy steps retrace. Poor wandering one, poor wandering one, if such poor love as mine can help thee find true peace of mind, why take it, it is thine. Take heart, no danger ours, take any heart but ours. Take heart, fair days will shine, take any heart, take mine. Take heart, no danger ours, take any heart but ours. Take heart, fair days will shine, take any heart, take mine. Poor wandering one, though thou hast surely strayed, take heart of grace, thy steps retrace. Poor wandering one, wandering one, wandering one, fair days will shine, take heart.
What ought we to do? Gentle sisters say, propriety we know says we ought to stay, while sympathy exclaims, free them from your tether, play at other games, leave them here together.
Her case may any day be yours, my dear, or mine. Let her make her hay while the sun doth shine. Let us compromise. Our hearts are not of leather. Let us shut our eyes and talk about the weather. Yes, yes, let's talk about the weather. I'll get you falling through the sky. The glass is rising very high. Continue, but I hope it may yet a great from yesterday. Tomorrow it may pour again. I hear the country blows the wind. People say I know that when the fish will have a home to love. Tomorrow it may pour again. I hear the country runs a ring. And people say I know that when the fish will have a home to love. Tomorrow it may pour again. I hear the country runs a ring.
senses. Men who stick at no offenses will anon be here. Piracy, the dreadful trade, is great. You get you hence young ladies while the coast is clear.
No, we must not lose our senses. If they stick at no offenses, we should not be here. Piracy, the dreadful trade, is nice companions for young ladies. Let us tease them.
First-rate opportunity to get married with their cutie. Indulgent publicity of unbounded domesticity. She couldn't be worse or fine. Much really matter on the line. I got her out to divinity who is located in this vicinity.
We have a star opportunity, our seeking with their dignity, to promote the publicity of our maiden domesticity. Baby personified, particularly matchured on the line, with a doctor of divinity who is located in this vicinity.
My doctor of divinity who resides in this vicinity. My doctor of divinity.
So much fun together.
Old monsters, here your pirates' caravansary proceed against our will to wed us all. Just bear in mind that we are wards in chancery and father is a major general.
We'd better pause, or danger may befall. Their father is a major general.
Yes, yes, he is a major general.
Yes, yes, I am a major general.
It's the rock of the major general.
And it is a glorious thing to be a major general.
It is the rock of the major general, rock of the major general.
You stole my speed. You stole my thief. My song.
I am the very model of a modern major general. I've information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I know the kings of England and I quote the fight historical. From Marathon to Waterloo in order categorical. I'm very well acquainted with matters mathematical. I understand equations for the simple and quadratical. About my number theorem, I'm teaming with a lot of proofs. With many triple facts about the square of the hypotenuse. I'm very good at integral and differential calculus. I know the scientific names of beings and immaculate and short amount is vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general. I know I'm in the history, Sir Arthur's and Sir Carolin's like aunts, 100 cosings have a pretty face for paradox, like quotes and elegiacs, for the crimes of Gabalus and Cornix, like law peculiarities, parabolus. I can elegant Raphaels from Jared Downs and Sophonies. I know the crafting chorus from the fruits of Aristophanes. Then I can have a few good I've heard the music's dinner for. Got it! And whistle on the ass man and burn the lots and spin I can ride a Washington in Babylonic uniform and tell you every detail of Caractacus' uniform and show him at his vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general. In fact, when I know what is meant by mamelon and ravelin, when I can tell at sight a Mauser rifle from a javelin, when such affairs as sorties and surprises I'm more wary at, and when I know precisely what is meant by commissariat, when I have learned that progress has been made in modern gunnery, when I know more of tactics than a novice in a nunnery, in short, when I've a smattering of elemental strategy. You'll say you better Major General has never strategy! My military knowledge so I'm bloody and adventurous, only prevent down to the beginning of the century, but silly matters, vegetable, animal, and mineral. I am the very model of a modern Major General!
Can you do that one more time, but really
What's this? Ain't a fact that I know what is remember, I can tell inside of us, but I'm a living such a first story since the first civil word, and when I know precisely what is member commissary, whenever the puggers have been made around a gunner, and I know where pickings to the novice and the nunnery, sure we never smell a girl of elemental strategy. You'll say about a major general has ever brought a my military knowledge, no plucky and adventurous, so I'm prepared at the beginning of the century, but still about as much as the one I am the very model of a man every day. Myself, I should like to have some idea of what's going on.
Oh,
Well, what happened?
permit me. I shall explain in 2 words. We propose. Oh, to marry your daughters.
Dear me! Oh, but you mustn't do that. May I ask, this is a picturesque uniform, but I'm not familiar with it. What are you?
We are all single gentlemen.
Yes, I gathered that. Anything else?
No, nothing else.
Papa, don't listen to them. They're pirates, the famous Pirates of Penzance.
Pirates of Penzance! I have often heard of them.
Except this gentleman, who was a pirate once, but who is out of his indentures for today, and who means to lead a blameless life evermore.
But wait a bit! I object to pirates as sons-in-law.
We object to major generals as fathers-in-law.
Yes!
But we waive that point. We do not press it. We look over it.
Ha! An idea. And do you mean to say that you would deliberately rob me of these, the sole remaining props of my old age, and leave me to go through the remainder of my life unfriended, unprotected, and alone?
Well, yes, that's the idea.
Tell me, have you ever known what it is to be an orphan?
Here we are again!
Go! Have you ever known what it is to be an orphan? Oh, yes, orphan. Have you ever known what it is to be one?
I say, orphan!
I don't think we quite understand one another. I ask you, have you ever known what it is to be an orphan? And you say orphan. As I understand, you are merely repeating the word orphan to show that you understand me.
I did not repeat the word orphan.
Pardon me, you did indeed.
I only repeated it once.
True, but you repeated it.
But not orphan!
Stop. I think I can see where we are getting confused. When you say orphan, did you mean orphan? A person who has lost his parents, or often, frequently?
What you mean?
You said often frequently.
No, only once.
Exactly. You said often frequently only once.
But not often!
Come, your fate. Forgo your cruel employ. Have a pity on my lonely state. I am an orphan boy. An orphan boy.
How sad, an orphan boy.
These children whom you see are all that I can call my own. Take them away from me, and I shall be indeed alone. If a pity you can feel, leave me my story. May joy. See at your feet they kneel. Your hearts you cannot steal. Against the sad tale of the lonely orphan boy.
See at our feet they kneel. Our hearts we cannot steal. Against the sad tale. The orphan boy, see at our feet they kneel, our hearts we cannot steal, against the tale of the lonely orphan boy.
I'm telling a terrible story, but it doesn't diminish my glory. For they would have taken my daughters over the billowy waters if I hadn't an elegant diction, indulged in this fiction, which is not in the same category as telling a regular terrible story.
He's telling a terrible story, telling a story. Sometimes involves the crime of stealing. We rather think that we're not altogether void of feeling. Although we live by strife, we're always sorry to be in it. For what we ask is life without a touch of poetry in it. Our pirate rules protect you and honorary members of our band. We do elect you. For he is an orphan boy. He is a roughly orphan boy.
And it sometimes is a useful thing to be an orphan boy.
It is a roughly orphan boy. Roughly orphan boy.
Happy day with joyously they will away and bury me.
Happy day rejoicely, they will away and bury me.
Should we fall auspiciously, our sisters all will rise with me.
Should we fall auspiciously, the sisters all will rise with me.
Oh, happy day with joyously they will away and bury me. Should we fall auspiciously,
anonymity with his way to race and liberty. There was such opportunity to get married with liberty, but we gave up authenticity of unbounded domesticity. No doctor of divinity is located in this vicinity.
Why do I sit here? To escape from the pirates' clutches, I describe myself an orphan. And heaven help me, I am no orphan! I come here to humble myself before the tombs of my ancestors and to implore their pardon for having brought dishonor upon the family escutcheon.
The what? The family crest.
But you forget, sir, you only bought the property a year ago, and the stucco on your baronial castle is scarcely dry.
Friedrich, in this chapel are ancestors. You cannot deny that. With the estate, I bought the chapel and its contents, and while I don't know whose ancestors they were, I know whose ancestors they are, and I shudder to think that they're descended by purchase, if I may so describe myself, should have brought disgrace upon what I have no doubt was an unstained escutcheon.
Be comforted. Had you not acted as you did, these reckless men would have assuredly called in the nearest clergyman and married your large family on the spot.
I thank you for your proffered solace, but it is unavailing. Oh, I assure you, Friedrich, that such is the remorse and anguish I feel at the abominable falsehood by which I escaped these easily deluded pirates, that I would go this very night to their simple-minded chief and confess all. Did I not fear that the consequences would be most disastrous to myself? At what time does your expedition march against these scoundrels?
At 11. Before midnight, I hope to have atoned for my involuntary association with these pestilent scourges by sweeping them from the face of the earth. And then, dear Mabel, you will be mine.
Oh. Are your devoted followers at hand?
They are. They only await my orders.
Then Friedrich, let your escort lion-hearted be summoned to receive a general's blessing. Ere they depart upon that dread adventure.
Dear sir, they come.
Bowman bears steel, we a comfortable feel, and we find the wisest thing is to slap our chests and sing ta-dun-ta-ra. For when threatened with the mutes, and your heart is in your boots, there is nothing brings it round like the trumpet's martial sound, like the trumpet's martial sound.
Go, ye heroes, go to glory. Go, ye die in combat glory. Ye shall live in song and story. Go to immortality. Go to death and go to slaughter. Die and death and Queen's daughter. With her fields your graves shall water. Go, ye heroes, go and
Though to us it's evident, these attentions are well meant. Such expressions don't appear calculated, meant to cheer. Who are going to meet their fate in a highly nervous state. Still to us it's evident, these attentions are well meant. We observe to great distress on the risks that on us press, and of reference the lack of our chance of coming back. Still, perhaps it would be wise not to carp or criticize, for it's very evident these attentions are well meant. Yes, it's very evident these attentions are well meant. Evident, yes, well meant, evident. Ah, yes, well meant. When the bowman is still,
which had a sense of duty's stern dictation. I, circumstances victim, have been guilty.
Young Frederick,
Who calls?
your late commander.
And I, your little Ruth,
Oh, mad intruders, how dare ye face me? Know ye not, O rash ones, that I have doomed you to extermination?
Have mercy on us. Hear us ere you slaughter.
I do not think I ought to listen to you, but mercy should alloy your stern resentment. And so I will be merciful. Say on.
when you had left our pirate fold, we tried to raise our spirits faint, according to our custom old, with quip and quibble quaint. But all in vain, the quips we heard we lay and sobbed upon the rocks, until to somebody occurred a startling paradox.
A paradox.
A paradox, a most ingenious paradox. We quips and quibbles heard of logs, but not to beat this paradox.
A paradox, a most ingenious paradox. A paradox.
We knew your taste for curious quips, for cranks and contradictions queer, and with the laughter on our lips we wished you there to hear. We said if we could tell it him, how Frederick would the joke enjoy, and so we risked both life and limb to tell it to our boy.
A paradox.
That paradox, that most ingenious paradox, we quips and quibbles heard in blocks, but none to beat this paradox. A paradox, a most ingenious paradox. A paradox. For some ridiculous reason, to which, however, I have no desire to be disloyal, some person in authority, I don't know who, very likely the astronomer royal, has decided that although for such a beastly month as February, 28 days as a rule are plenty, 1 year in every 4 his days shall be reckoned as 9 and 20. Through some singular coincidence, I shouldn't be surprised if it were owing to the agency of an ill-natured fairy. You are the victim of this clumsy arrangement, having been born in leap year on the 29th of February. So, by a simple arithmetical process, you shall easily discover that though you lived 21 years, yet, if we go by birthdays, you're only 5 and a little bit over.
To me, let's see. Yes, with yours my figures do agree. How quaint the ways of paradox, how common sense she gaily mocks. Yet counting in the usual way, years 21 I've been alive. Yet reckoning by my natal day, I am a little boy of 5.
You're a little boy of 5.
A paradox, a most ingenious paradox. A paradox, a curious paradox. A most ingenious paradox. This is most curious, most absurdly whimsical. 5 1/4. One wouldn't think it to look at me.
You are glad now we'll be bound that you spared us. You never would have forgiven yourself when you discovered you killed 2 of your comrades.
I'm afraid you don't appreciate the delicacy of your position. You were apprenticed to us.
Until my 21st year.
No! Oh, no. No. until your 21st birthday. And, going by birthdays, you are as yet as 5 and a quarter.
You don't mean to say you're actually going to hold me to that?
Oh, no. No. We merely remind you of the facts, and we leave the rest to your sense of duty.
Your sense of duty.
Oh, don't put it on that footing. As I was merciful to you just now, be merciful to me. I implore you not to insist on the letter of your bond just as the cup of happiness is at my lips.
We insist on nothing. We content ourselves with pointing out to you your duty.
Your duty!
You have appealed to my sense of duty, and my duty is all too clear. I abhor your infamous calling. I shudder at the thought that I was ever mixed up with it. But duty is before all. At any price, I will do my duty.
Yes! Bravely spoken, my boy. Come, you are one of us once more.
Lead on. I follow. Oh, horror!
What's the matter?
Ought I to tell you? No, I cannot do it today as one of your band.
Speak out! I charge you by the sense of conscientiousness to which we have never yet appealed in vain.
General Stanley,
Yes?
the father of my Maybelle.
Yes.
He escaped from you on the plea that he was an orphan.
He did. Yes.
Which breaks my heart to betray the honored father of the girl I adore.
Break it.
But as your apprentice, I have no alternative.
None.
Then it is my duty to tell you
Yes.
that General Stanley.
General Stanley.
General Stanley.
General Stanley
Is
is...
no.
Is no... Wait,
No.
wait, you don't mean to say that General Stanley... No!
No, orphan!
Frederick, when you say orphan, do you mean orphan, a person who has lost his parents, or often, frequently?
Orphan. A person who's lost his parents?
What?
And more than that, he never was one.
Am I to understand that in order to save his contemptible life, he dare practice upon our credulous simplicity? Our revenge shall be swift and terrible. We'll go and collect our band and attack Tremorden Castle this very night.
But stay!
But not a word. He is doomed. Away, my heart's on fire. I further face deception to repay. This very night, my vengeance dire shall cut itself away.
Way, ere I expire, I find my duty hard to do today. My heart is filled with anguish dire, strikes me to the core away.
Falsehood foul, he tricked us of our pride. Let's vengeance howl the pirates all decides. On nature's stern he softened with his lies, and in return tonight the traitor dies.
Yes, tonight the traitor dies.
Yes,
Tonight the traitor dies.
Tonight he dies.
Yes, early tomorrow.
His girls likewise.
They will want in sorrow.
The ones are
In
smart.
their natures they cherish.
And others who plot.
To abuse it shall perish.
Tonight he dies, yes, early tomorrow. His girls likewise they will want in sorrow.
The ones so smart in their natures they cherish, and all who plot to abuse it shall perish. Away, away, away. Tonight the traitor dies. Away, away tonight. Tonight, tonight. The traitor dies tonight.
All is prepared. Your gallant crew await you. My Frederick in tears. It cannot be that Lionheart quails at the coming conflict.
No, Mabel, no. A terrible disclosure has just been made. Mabel, my dearly loved one, I bound myself to serve the pirate captain until I reached my 21st birthday.
But you are 21.
I've just discovered that I was born in leap year, and that birthday will not be reached by me till 1940.
Oh, horrible. Catastrophe. Appalling.
And so farewell.
Oh, Frederick, hear me. Stay, Frederick, stay.
swear that till then you will be true to me.
Yes, I'll be strong. By all the Stanleys dead and gone, I swear it. Oh, here is love, and here is truth, and here is food for joyous laughter. I will be faithful to my suit, till we are wed, and even after.
Oh, here is love, and here is truth.
Oh, here is love, and here is truth.
I will be faithful to my
I will be
suit.
faithful to my
We are
suit.
wed, and even after.
Till we are wed.
And even after.
Yes, even after. Oh, here is love, and here is truth, and here is food for joyous laughter. I will be faithful to my suit, till we are wed, and even after. I will be faithful to my suit.
We are wed, and even after. Oh, here is love, and here is truth. Oh, here is love.
No, I am brave. Oh, family descent, how great thy charm, thy sway, how excellent. Come one and all, undaunted men in blue. A crisis now, affairs are coming to.
Body, hand, and mind. You're timidly inclined, and anything but blind to the danger that's behind. Yet when the danger's near, we manage to appear as insensible to fear as anybody here, as anybody here.
Sergeant, approach. Young Frederick was to have led you to death and glory.
That is not a pleasant way of putting it.
No matter, he will not so lead you, for he has allied himself once more with his old associates.
He has acted shamefully.
You speak falsely. You know nothing about it. He has acted nobly.
He has acted nobly.
Dearly as I loved him before, his heroic sacrifice to his sense of duty has endeared him to me tenfold. He has done his duty, I will do mine. Go ye and do yours.
Right-o. This is perplexing.
We cannot understand it at all.
Still, as he is actuated by a sense of duty,
That makes a difference, of course, but at the same time, we repeat, we cannot understand it at all.
no matter, we must do our best to capture these pirates alone. It is most distressing to us to be the agents whereby our erring fellow creatures are deprived of that liberty which is so dear to us all.
It is.
But we should have thought of that before we joined the force.
We should.
It's too late now.
It is.
When a felon's not engaged in his employment, or maturing his felonious little plans, his capacity for innocent enjoyment is just as good as any honest man's. Our feelings we with difficulty smother. Constabulary duties to be done. Still one consideration with another. Our policeman's thought is not a happy one. Whoa! And constabulary duties to be done. To be done. A policeman's lot is not a happy one. A rollicking band of pirates we, who tired of tossing on the sea, are trying their hand at burglary with weapons grim and gory.
Hush, hush, I hear the man approaching. With stealthy steps the pirates are approaching.
We are not coming for plate or gold, a story General Stanley told. We seek a penalty 50-fold for General Stanley's story.
They seek a penalty
50-fold, we seek a penalty 50-fold. We seek a penalty 50-fold for General Stanley's story.
They come in force with stealthy stride. Our obvious course is now to hide.
We cast like tread upon a brave steel. Silence tread, a cautious way we feel. No sound at all, we never speak a word. A fly's foot forward be the steal we heard. So stealthily the pirates streak for all the household sound they cease. Come, friends, who plow the sea, trust in navigation, take another station. Let's bury piracy with the little burglar roll. Come, friends, who plow the sea, trust in navigation, take another station. Let's bury piracy with the little burglary. Here's your crowbar and your centribit, your life preserver. You may want to hit your silent matches, your dark lantern seas. Take your file and your skeletonic keys. Cut my tread, silent tread. Cut my tread upon a brave steel. Silence tread, a cautious way we feel. No sound at all, we never speak a word. A fly's foot forward be the steal we heard. Come, friends, who plow the sea, trust in navigation, take another station. Let's bury piracy with the little burglary. We have the tread upon a brave steel. Silent tread, a cautious
Hush, hush, not a word. I see a light inside. The Major General comes, so quickly hide.
Yes, yes, the Major General comes.
Yes, yes, the Major General comes.
Yes, yes, the Major General comes. Tormented with the anguished dread of falsehood unatold, I lay upon my sleepless bed and tossed and turned and groaned. The man who finds his conscience ache no peace at all enjoys. And as I lay in bed awake, I thought I heard a noise.
He thought he heard a noise.
No, no, all is still in dale on hill. My mind is set at ease. So still the scene, it must have been the sighing of the breeze. to the river comes the loving breeze, setting nature all a quiver, rustling through the trees. And the brook in rippling measure laughs for very love, while the poplars in their pleasure wave their arms above.
Yes, the trees are very love, wave their leafy arms above.
River, river, little river, may thy loving prosper ever. Heaven's feeding upon the tree, may thy growing happy be. Heaven's feeding upon the tree, courted by a fickle breeze.
Such a time of night as this, so very incompletely dressed. Your father isn't always was the most methodical of men. It's his invariable rule to go to bed at 1:30. A strange occurrence can it be that calls him rather from his roost. Such a time of night as this, so very incompletely dressed. So very incompletely dressed. Such a time of night.
It's the pirates are despair.
Yes, with pirates of despair.
Free Jericho, oh joy and rapture, summon your men and effect the capture.
Beautiful Mabel, I would if I could, but I am not able.
Who's telling the truth, he is not able.
With base deceit, you worked upon our feelings. Revenge is sweet and flavors all our dealings. With courage rare and resolution manly, for death prepare, unhappy General Stanley.
Is he to die unshriven and unkneeled? Will no one in his cause a weapon wield? Spare him!
Yes, we are there, no heaven to conceal. So to constabulary pirates yield. Wait! To gain a brief advantage you've contrived. But your proud triumph will not be long-lived.
Don't say you're orphans, for we know that game.
On your allegiance we've a stronger claim. We charge you yield. We charge you yield. In Queen Victoria's name.
We charge you.
Yield. In Queen Victoria's
We yield at once with humble mien, because with all our faults we love our Queen.
Yes, yes, with all their faults, they love their queen. Yes, yes, with all their faults, they love our queen.
Away with them! place them at the bar.
One moment, let me tell you who they are. They are no members of the common throng. They are all noblemen who have gone wrong. Noblemen who have gone wrong.
No Englishmen unmoved that statement hears, because with all our faults we're he love our house of peers. I pray you pardon me, ex-pirate king. Peers will be peers, and youth will have its fling. Resume your ranks and legislative duties, and propose to my daughters, all of whom are beauties.
At length, we are provided with unusual facility to change piratic crime to dignified respectability.
Combined, I needn't say, for the unparalleled felicity of what we have been longing for, unbounded domesticity.
Tomorrow morning early we will quickly be personified.
Many-alley coupled, conjugally matrimonified.
And this shall be accomplished by the Doctor of Divinity, who happily resides in the immediate vicinity. Who happily resides in the immediate vicinity. Who happily resides in the immediate vicinity. Who happily resides in the immediate vicinity.
For my military knowledge, so I'm plucky and adventurous, is only prepared down to the beginning of the century, but still, in loving my sweet daughters, 8 or 9 or more in all, I've shown myself the model of a modern Major General.
But still in loving history, daughters, 8 or 9 or more in all, she is the very model of a modern Major General.
Poor wandering ones, though thou hast surely strayed, take heart of grace, your steps retrace. Poor wandering one, poor wandering ones, if such poor love as yours can help thee find true peace of mind, why take it, it is yours.
Wandering one,
Wandering one,
wandering one,
wandering one.
take heart, take heart, take heart.
Take heart,
Take heart, take heart, take heart, take heart. Take heart, there is no shine. Take any heart shine. Take heart, take heart, take heart, take